Dakota marker on the line. It'll be North Dakota State kicking in green and yellow. The Jackrabbits of South Dakota State ready to deceive in white. This sails through the end zone for a touchback, and we get our first look at this Jackrabbits offense. We were just talking about the veteran quarterback, Mark Gronowski. What a terrific career he has had, especially in this game. 4-0 against the Bison, 8 touchdowns, 0 turnovers.
And that's the thing you probably like best about Mark Gronowski is he plays big in big games, and there's none bigger than this one right here. He wants to come out and make a statement.
Gronowski had interest from the Big Ten and the Big 12 of the offseason. Told ESPN in August his highest offer was $1.2 million, decided to come back and finish things here at South Dakota State. Play action, rolling right on first down. Gronowski decides to let it fly right at the line of scrimmage. Stoffel, the tight end, was ready for it. Thought Gronowski might have been real close to that line of scrimmage. I thought he was just going to tuck and run, and I think he was over the line.
Let's see, you have to have your whole body over the line.
Illegal forward pass. The quarterback was still behind the line of scrimmage.
And how this rule is stated, Jay, as long as any part of your body is behind that line of scrimmage, it counts as a forward pass. So they're going to change this thing and move it back up.
What's funny is the Jackrabbits thought it was. They backed up all the way to the 15-yard line, and now they hurry up to the 45.
I think maybe the back of Gronowski's helmet was still behind that line.
Wow.
And very fortunate to start off that play with a very positive gain.
So the flag picked up. 1st and 10 from the 45, and Chase Mason's in the game, number 7 in white. 2 quarterbacks on the field at the same time. It's Mason who takes the snap right up the middle, bulldozing his way. A powerful run of 6 yards. How about Chase Mason? Last week against Youngstown State, he touched the ball 7 times. 3 of those 7 went for a touchdown.
He's one of their best, most explosive players. So, you know, Jimmy Rogers like, we got to get this guy on the field no matter what he plays. Just line him up somewhere and get him the ball. He is going to be the X factor, I think, in a game like tonight.
Already into Bison territory on the opening drive. Gronowski set to throw into the flat over the head of Amar Johnson, and that'll bring up 3rd down, and you will hear the Fargo Dome get loud for the first of many times tonight.
Yeah, and here it is, as we talked about, 2 quarterbacks in the game, and they haven't let Chase Mason throw a pass with them both in the game, but you might imagine in a game like this, maybe something like that comes out. I mean, there's Gronowski calling the snap, but then the snap goes to Chase Mason. Just one more wrinkle for that North Dakota defense to have to think about.
Gronowski gonna try and pick it up with his feet, and he does. 1st down, Jackrabbits. They keep the drive alive. Mark Gronowski, gain of 9.
And the thing that stands out about South Dakota State, Jay, is the amount of formations they give you. They give you so many formations, and as a defender, you're like, okay, where am I lined at? Where's this? And all of a sudden, boom, there's the quarterback running right downhill at you. They just make you hesitant. As a defender, Jay, you want to be able to screw your cleats in the ground and be confident, but with all the formations and sets, they make you a little bit timid.
Here's Amar Johnson trying to spin his way out of a tackle, wrestled down. Only a gain of 4. Rocky is a former linebacker. This is a game you would love because both coaches say you got to stop the run.
Got to stop the run, but for North Dakota State, I think their game plan has got to be simplistic, right? You can't start trying to do so many different defenses and things like that, different coverages because of the amount of formation. Keep it simple and allow your guys to play fast.
Tim Polasek, first-year head coach, trying to get the crowd into this one early. Gronowski, quarterback keeper, falling forward. He's just shy of the 1st down marker. This will be 3rd and 2. Nice tackle by Sam Young, the safety, coming up to make that one.
You mentioned Sam Young. This North Dakota State defense, Jay. They fly around, so much speed out there on D. They can cover a lot of ground. And last time in this situation, Jay, South Dakota State went with the QB draw up the middle. North Dakota State's gonna be ready for that. See what they have.
Here's Johnson needing 2. I don't think he got there. This will be very close depending on where they spot the ball. Sam Young again shot in to make the stop, and this will be 4th and 1. What do you do here, Rocky?
South Dakota State, they're coming into this building, raucous crowd. One way to quiet this crowd down, go for it on 4th down and pick it up. I think it's in the area of the field where you're safe going for it here, especially the way this club runs the ball.
Chase Mason into the game. The backup quarterback, number 7, goes under center, trying to push that pile. A flag flies. The Bison signaling that this will go against South Dakota State.
False start. Offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
It was Mason who went under center, was not set. And this will back up South Dakota State to a 4th and 6.
And I think what happened, Jay, is on this, Chase Mason just got a little bit anxious. You want to get up there, and it's a quarterback sneak, and I thought even the left side of the line, the offensive guard, Ethan Vibert, might have been off sides as well. Very fortunate for North Dakota State.
So this is the senior Hunter Dustman. He does it all. He's the punter, the kicker, the kickoff guy from 53. Would be a season-long. Dustman clangs it. No good. Inches away from 53. Hits the upright, and North Dakota State keeps it scoreless.
What a fantastic break for North Dakota State. South Dakota State was running that ball, putting together a couple nice drives here. Then the penalty forces the longer field goal, and doink, off the left upright.
Had the distance,
Yeah,
and then some to spare.
If it's over a foot, that thing goes through and it's 3 points. Now North Dakota State and their offense with the turn.
So here's the Bison offense led by Cam Miller. Running it on 1st down, right up the middle. Karika Penu. Gain of 5. So the senior quarterback, Cam Miller, in search of his first win against the Jackrabbits. 0-5 in this game, including the 2022 national title game.
He's done about everything but beat South Dakota State, their rival. And is worth mentioning, he's dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury. He got a couple weeks ago against North Dakota. He told us yesterday it feels much better and he's ready to roll.
Miller throwing on 2nd down. Finds Raza Nelson, who turns the corner, picks up the 1st down into South Dakota State territory.
And this is what you love about North Dakota State's offense. Traditionally, if you watch them, they're a pound the ball, run the ball team, and they still are. But this year with Tim Polasek as head coach, there's a little more spread to them, a little more hit the perimeter, so you have your choice. Do you stack the box and try to take away the inside the tackle run? And that leaves you open for the perimeter pass that we saw right there. Looks like he might have stepped out a little before.
Yeah, they bring it back to the 49-yard line. Only a gain of 8. 1st and 10. Miller, ball batted down at the line of scrimmage. Jared DePriest, the senior, got an arm up to that one.
Jared DePriest has been very disruptive as a D lineman this year. And coming into the season, Jay, D-line was kind of their question mark because they lost some guys, but now I think it's their strength. These guys are playing well.
And DePriest played a lot of football for this Jackrabbits team. Big part of the back-to-back national championships the last 2 seasons. 2nd and 10, Miller. Pressure coming. Threw it over the head of Bryce Lance. That's his top target. That'll set up 3rd and long here.
The ball sailed a little bit on Cam Miller again. normally deadly accurate, you know, big game, the juices are flowing a little bit. He'll calm down.
Well, you mentioned the ankle injury earlier. Now, he told us there was nothing that could keep him out of this game. He's not missing number 1 versus number 2 in this rivalry. Dealing with that ankle injury, but he said he feels a lot better this week than he did last week. 3rd and 10. Jackrabbits send everybody. Miller threw it up, a dangerous pass. Falls incomplete. Braylon Henderson was the closest receiver, but nobody was looking for the ball there.
In the pressure that South Dakota State brought, you'll see they're taking away every vertical rush lane. That's what's so dangerous, is you try to blitz him, but you leave a little crease open, and he can scamper forward. That's a great job of discipline, being in those inside rush lanes.
If Matthew Durant's, the safety for South Dakota State, turned his head around, he might have picked that ball off. Fortunate to punt it away here. Caden Steindorf trying to pin South Dakota State deep. Bounces at the 2 with some backspin. And that's exactly what Steindorf does. A beautiful punt. South Dakota State backed up to their own 4-yard line to start the drive. Now we are scoreless in South Dakota State. Rocky Boy, the J-Alter with you. Let's take a look at our impact players, brought to you by Carfax.
Yeah, and no surprise, Jay, all these guys are in-the-box players. We got Gus Miller, great offensive lineman. Adam Bach, great linebacker. And Shamar Brown, the running back. Eli Moser, one of the best defensive tackles in the FCS.
Well, when you're backed up inside your own 5-yard line, you'll lean on your offensive line, anchored by the senior Gus Miller. I'm going to try and run it out, get some breathing room. Amar Johnson does just that. Makes a couple of cuts all the way to the 15-yard line. That's a 1st down. Big run by Amar Johnson to open the drive.
Jay, this is a team that rushes for 7.41 yards per carry. Okay, they run the football. And watch the great blocking, some zone blocking, down, 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 and then you let your running back pick the hole. He runs the daylight, and that was Mark Gronowski down there throwing a block. How about that?
Yeah, he's built like a linebacker at 6'3", 230. The senior quarterback set to throw here. Surveys, dumps it off, finds Johnson, who's wrestled out of bounds, only a gain of 1.
And I can tell early here, North Dakota State defensively, they want to keep everything in front of them. They'll say, look, we'll take that check down to the running back all day long because we're a fast defense. We can rally up to it. We just can't have anything over our heads. Pads are popping here. Line guy.
Nobody's safe in this rivalry game. Physicality is the word that we heard from both coaches. That includes the assistant coaches, too. They could take some hits throughout the night. They keep it on the ground. Angel Johnson, his first carry of the night, goes for 3.
And Angel Johnson's a guy, another one I think can be an X factor in this. He's the home run hitter. Amar Johnson's the bigger kind of downhill running back. Angel Johnson, he had a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown to open last week's game. They got to get him the ball in space.
And no relation between Angel and Amar Johnson coming out of the backfield for the Jackrabbits. At the Fargo Dome, trying to help the Bison off the field on a 3rd and 6. Gronowski, clean pocket, throws over the middle. It's caught to keep the drive alive. David Stroffel, the reliable tight end. They're down a couple of tight ends, but they just seem to grow on trees in Brookings, South Dakota, Rocky.
Yeah, they have 3 or 4 good ones on this team. They're such a big part of this offense. And he lines up all the way out wide and comes, this is called the OTB, over the ball. You run a mesh route underneath, get some crossers, and then when the defenders clear out, Stoffel sits right down, catches the ball for a 1st down.
Gronowski with a flag down, throws it away.
Offside. Defense, number 93, in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
A lot of pre-snap penalties early in this game. Obviously, it's an incredible atmosphere, very loud, and that can affect both sides of the football.
Yeah, I think everyone's just so gassed up for this game. Rivalry matchup. These two teams know each other. They're two of the best in the FCS, and a little bit of nerves out there. That's all good.
Now, this is only the third time in FCS history that number 1 is meeting number 2 in the regular season. Chase Mason takes the snap for the second time tonight. Quarterback keeper absorbs a big hit. Luke Wirtz, the middle linebacker, laid the lumber there.
Yeah, Luke Wirtz, coach told us yesterday, Grant Olson, the defensive coordinator, this is a Luke Wirtz type of game. He is a in-the-box, thump-you kind of linebacker. He came up and thumped Chase Mason. I have to imagine that they're setting something up with Chase Mason having these two quarterbacks in the game.
You and I are thinking alike because they've run Mason twice, but he's got a very capable arm as well. Mason out of the game. It's Gronowski sandwiched by 2 in the backfield. 2nd and 3, handoff goes to Angel Johnson, trying to spin out of the tackle, churning the legs for 2 yards. Oh man, Rocky, in a rivalry game like this with these two teams, you've got to earn every yard.
And that's what Tim Polasek told us. He said it's just finding those hidden yards in this game. Who can break a tackle? Who can, you know, throw a block downfield, just get a few extra yards? That's going to be the difference.
Two teams that are built so similarly. In the trenches, they want to run the ball, stop the run, and on 3rd and 1, two teams that know exactly what's going to happen. Who's going to get that push? Johnson needing 1, and he just got it. Fell forward after he was hit on the line of scrimmage. LaShaka Rokes, the senior, got there, but credit Johnson. Needed 1, got 1 to keep the drive alive.
And, you know, it's one thing as a running back, you have these long runs, but I like the running backs that when you need a yard, he gets you that yard. You know, just slips, falls, but just still tries to pile forward and picks up the first.
Who's a guy you played with that if you needed a yard, he could get you the yard?
Eddie George.
Yeah,
he was one of the best.
Pretty good one.
You might know that name.
Not going to get a yard here. Blown up in the backfield. Jackson Dudenheffer got there first.
And this is one thing North Dakota State does defensively. They'll do a lot of line stunts, and that time they kind of all move to their right. Slanted, stunted to their right. It cancels all those gaps out. There was nowhere to run.
Under 5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. This is living up to the hard-nosed physical football we were promised in a 1 versus 2 rivalry game. Gronowski. Pocket began to collapse, gets rid of it immediately. Finds Brody Gormley, the tight end, sophomore. That's his 4th catch of the season.
And this is tackling is going to be so important in this game. Let them complete the easy stuff and then rally up and tackle it. That was a great job there on the outside.
Enoch Ibomina with his first tackle. 3rd and 4, 3 for 4 on 3rd down for South Dakota State. Can they keep it going on a 3rd and 10?
South Dakota State trying to stretch this defense out.
And again, movement before the snap. Who jumped first?
Ball start. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
It's hard to blame the left guard, Ethan Viber, because you can barely hear yourself think in the Fargo Dome tonight.
Between that and have Eli Mostart lined up over top of you, yeah, he can get a little bit jumpy. And these are some of these hidden yards Tim Polasek was talking about when we spoke with him this week. Like a 2-deep coverage here for North Dakota State.
3rd and 15, the Jackrabbits run it. Lamar Johnson ankle tackled by Logan Kopp, the leading tackler for this Bison defense. Spoke with him yesterday. He told us his goal is to be where the football is on every play.
He was there on that particular play where we really enjoyed talking with Logan Copy. Look, vision comes back. Call that the rock back technique. You got to slide your left, keep your vision on the running back. Uh-oh.
Dustman couldn't handle the snap, just gets it away. It bounces to the 49-yard line, and North Dakota State, the Bison, they deliver on defense, get a great special teams play, and they'll have terrific field position to start this drive.
And Jay, that's the other thing we were talking about, teams that are so evenly matched.
This will be a full media
ridiculously evenly matched.
Those are the best FCS player each season, a long list of big names, including two guys that are in the building tonight. Trey Lance, who's back in town, rooting on his younger brother Bryce tonight. And then there's Trey hanging out before the game. Won a national championship for the Bison, and then third pick in the 2021 NFL draft. And then Mark Gronowski, the South Dakota State quarterback, won it a year ago and is back for the Jackrabbits. How cool is that to have your older brother watching you, a legend here in Fargo in a rivalry game?
Yeah, that name means something out here in North Dakota State.
Great starting field position for Bryce Lance of this North Dakota State offense. Cam Miller, the quarterback, goes under center. Good hole opening up. Shamar Brown runs right through it. The freshman they call him Marty Brown leads Division I in rushing yards. Gets the first down there. Next Thursday, ESPN's got an undefeated Pitt team taking on 5-1 Syracuse at 7:30 Eastern time on Thursday. Marty Brown now up to 555 yards entering the day, led all freshman running backs, and that includes FBS in addition to FCS rushers.
And it's interesting here, we see both two plays in a row here, runs with Marty Brown. Tim Polasek told us yesterday he thinks the team that establishes the tailback run in this game wins. And he's making a conscious effort here, especially this area of the field, to get that going. I would like to see them get Cam Miller involved in the run game. He is so deadly at that.
Yeah, Miller, the veteran quarterback, he's won a national championship, but he's never beaten South Dakota State. 0-5 against the Jackrabbits, trying to change that tonight. Throws, falling down, strong throw to the far side of the field. Hauled in. Great grab by Chris Harris, a gain of 5 to set up a second and manageable from the 32.
Cam Miller took a shot as he released that ball. Tough guy, not the biggest guy in the world, 6'1", 212, but very good athlete. And again, the accuracy really stands out for him.
Here's Barika Penu, another one of these running backs for North Dakota State. They've got 3 or 4 of them they'll run through out of the backfield, gain of 4. So 3rd and 1 upcoming.
And I think, Jay, it's the one thing North Dakota State's run game has been missing this year, and that's the home run threat. You know, they need to get some explosive plays out of that position group. They need a guy at some point tonight, Jay, to make someone miss and hit for that big one.
And maybe it can be the quarterback, Cam Miller. Certainly capable.
Especially this area of the field. I mean, his dual threat nature down here is a big weapon.
Miller takes it himself, upended and drilled. Caleb Franzel shot off the edge and got to Miller before he could even get his feet under him.
And the difference, Jay, between a good linebacker and a great linebacker is the one who just shoots it. Don't hesitate, don't wait for it, see it and shoot it. And that's what he does. Doesn't wait and comes in and makes a huge play. Wow, love that.
And that'll finish it for the first quarter. A decision to make for North Dakota State to start the second. Do you go for it or do you attempt a field goal here? This is the physical slugfest we expected.
That's the end of the first quarter.
a rivalry game. They've been playing since 1903, but only the second time they're meeting as #1 and #2, scoreless after one. Well, what's better than this, Kevin? Start of the second quarter and a 4th and 2 offense on the field for North Dakota State. Trying to get there, not gonna do it. The Bison ran into a white wall, and it's a turnover on downs. What a stop, Graham Spalding and this Jackrabbits defense.
And I didn't like that decision right there. I think, look, you get the special teams miscue with the fumbled snap on the punt, put together a couple nice runs there, get some points, put some points on the board. Tim Polasek decides to go for it, and this Jackrabbit defense comes up big. I'd take some points early in this game. Looks to be probably likely a low-scoring game.
So North Dakota State passes on the field goal attempt, don't convert on 4th down, and let's see if the Jackrabbits can capitalize. It would have been a 47-yard field goal attempt, and part of that confusion for North Dakota State is they have 2 kickers. You know, one is for 45 and in, one is for 46 and out, so you probably don't feel that comfortable. You only need 2 yards, and Tim Polasek making a big decision there. Here's Mark Gronowski, dual threat. He spun out of a tackle, gained 3. And this will be 3rd and 7.
It's 3 hard-earned yards. And by the way, Jay, I'm not sure South Dakota State has had the same formation 2 times yet tonight. I mean, every single formation they put out there, they make the defense think about it.
How difficult is that for a defense?
It's tough because you're worried about, hey, who's got that guy covered, and then you forget who has the A-gap, right? It can be, again, making you hesitant. That is exactly why they do it. And here they go again, spreading the field here on 3rd down.
First down marker at the 39-yard line. Gronowski, pump fake, decides to tuck and run, takes a big hit, short of the line to gain. Needed 7, only got 5. Luke Wirtz combining with Lashaka Rokes to make the critical 3rd down stop at South Dakota State. Forced a punt.
Jay, this former linebacker here is having a lot of fun watching these linebackers for both teams come up and make big plays. Luke Wirtz, again, we talked about this is his style of game, just a knockdown drag out.
The last time South Dakota State punted, Hunter Dustman couldn't handle the snap, only a 13-yard punt. Dustman also missed a field goal in the first quarter, so the senior punter, who has been terrific throughout his career, a little nervous, but a great punt there. All the way to the 20. Here's Jackson Williams. Solid return of 11. And that's where North Dakota State and Cam Miller will take over. It's a replica of an actual Dakota marker that lines the entire border. Cam Miller starting this drive with a pass, only a gain of 3. So yeah, all across the Dakota's border, placed at half-mile intervals along the border are those markers.
Yeah, pretty cool. 2 big states, right? You got to know where the boundary is. We had a good time venturing down there to the border yesterday.
Yeah, long
seeing
drive.
The marker in person, that was cool.
Across I-29. And North Dakota State, even though they have dominated this rivalry for long stretches, they've lost 5 in a row. Trying to change that here at home. They run it again with Brown, not much going. Fell forward for a gain of 2.
And it's still interesting to me, Jay, that Cam Miller has not taken off and ran the ball at all tonight. So you wonder, is the ankle where they want it to be? Are they just trying to protect it? But that is such a big part of their offense. And we know that because South Dakota State told us defensively, boy, we really got to watch out for him scrambling. So I wonder if that's going to be a factor here tonight or not.
He's only run it 1 time, and it was a loss of 1. Let's see what they dial up on a 3rd and 5. Empty set for Miller.
How about this?
He's got 5 spread out. Miller throws. It's caught. for a Bison first down. Braylon Henderson hauled it in with Colby Humphrey all over him. Great catch.
And there's the accuracy. I mean, Colby Hunter had textbook coverage on Braylon Henderson, but Miller put it on the money. Up high a little bit where only Braylon Henderson could get to it. Couldn't get his arm smacked away, picks up the first. See if he was able to secure this thing.
Definitely.
All day, yeah.
You mentioned the accuracy. Cam Miller on the season, 77%.
It's incredible.
Play action. Right on the money again, out to the flat. That's Bryce Lance, his first catch of the night. Gain of 9.
I was just getting ready to say, usually with your best players, your most explosive players, you want to get them involved in the game early. Hadn't turned the way of Bryce Lance yet this game. Good to see him get involved here. Get him lathered up, get him in the flow of this game, and maybe he can get a big one for you here.
Miller upping the tempo, taking a deep shot down the sideline. He caught the ball, but he was out of bounds. The call is incomplete. It was a great grab by Lance. The officials coming together. It was ruled incomplete. Now a long conversation.
Well, you said it, Jay. I mean, the throw was perfect. Throw was on the outside part of his body. Great job getting a little bit of separation by Lance.
He caught that ball.
Yeah, that ball looked like on the replay, whether you want to count the foot that came down or the one that was struck.
He might have gotten to it. I was looking at the feet, and it looked like he got not just one but two in. Was the ball secured is the question.
Timeout. North Dakota State. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And Tim Polasek is going crazy down on the sideline. He's saying that ball was a catch and it was secured. We're going to get another look at it here when we come back.
The foot. Now back at Fargo, Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. This is a long review. Tim Polasek, head coach of North Dakota State, called the timeout, said, you guys have to look at this Bryce Lance potential catch.
And the feet were certainly down. Did he have control of the ball? And I think on that look there, that ball is popping out.
Right there, yeah.
And it is important to know that it was ruled an incomplete pass on the field. I do not think there is anywhere close to indisputable video evidence to make that a catch.
And it's very important because it was ruled incomplete pass. And it's going to stay incomplete pass.
After review, the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is confirmed. The runner did not, the catcher did not maintain possession of the ball throughout the process of the catch. Third down.
You know, everybody in the Fargo Dome did what we did on that first replay. Was the foot inbounds? Yes, but the ball was not secured. So instead of a 32-yard gain, it's 3rd and 1. And another battle in the trenches between number 1 and number 2 in a rivalry game. In these short yardage situations, both coaches told us will determine the winner of this game. Miller running left, finds a hole, hits it for the first down, a gain of 6 to move the sticks.
Wow, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, he is such a great runner. It looked like there was nothing there going, but he just was a patient, and found a little bit of a crease and was able to pop it through there. Again, this is a zone run. All those linemen are just zoning off to their left. It's up to Cam Miller to find the daylight and hit it. He does and picks up a critical first down. At some point, I take a shot here. Just go up top here, get something big.
Now they tried to Lance, and it was incomplete. Jet sweep here with Raja Nelson. Never found the edge. Bounced out of bounds for a loss of 1. Great pursuit by Colby Herder, the senior safety from Katy, Texas.
So they're trying to get Nelson, who's a speedster, get him out in space. But again, well covered by South Dakota State. Very impressed with how they run to the ball. Look at this formation here. 3 in the backfield in the shift.
And now they spread them out, 2 to each side. Miller with pressure coming, dumps it off. Penu, a late hit came in, no flag flies, but thought Penu was out of bounds there after the catch. Adam Bach, the senior linebacker, was the one who flew in.
Yeah, that was real close. He dumps the ball off, and Adam Bach is coming like a missile, but he's out of bounds, and then
Tim Polisic wanted the flag, as did the Fargo Dome faithful here at North Dakota State.
Resounding boo coming from this audience. I agree with them.
It would have been a first down. Instead, 3rd and 7. Empty backfield for Miller. Pressure comes. Miller steps up, tucks and runs. He's got the first down, safely out of bounds after keeping the drive alive on a gain of 8.
And this is the danger. The first time tonight, South Dakota State has brought a blitz. They bring 5, they bring it off to the quarterback's left side, and look at that lane, that rush lane open up right there. He says, I'll take that all day, every day, and picks up the first down. They've done such a good job all night negating that, not on that play.
You know how much Cam Miller wants to win this game. He is 0-5 in this rivalry game. He's never touched the rock. He wants to bring the Dakota marker back to Fargo. Marty Brown stood up and dropped after a gain of 2. Colby Herder, the safety, on the stop again.
Again, I'd like to see North Dakota State take a shot here. I mean, something to loosen up this defense here and get them thinking about the deep ball, and that'll help when you try to go with the check down later. Try to get that big play. You got Bryce Lance extending to the top of your screen, one-on-one coverage.
Midway through the second quarter, still scoreless. North Dakota State trying to change that. Penu, a big hit. You felt the thump from here. Graham Spalding. You could hear it in the Fargo Dome.
That's exactly right. You heard that play, even with how loud this crowd is. Oh, Jay, if I could just be transported back in time, running back in the hole, come down, meet him, Graham Spalding, I love it.
That was like 2 bison in the wild coming together, locking horns. 3rd and 5. North Dakota State 3 for 3 on 3rd down on this drive. Miller, low snap, throws, passes caught. Right on the money, needed 5, got 5, and he found Chris Harris to do it. Cam Miller putting together a spectacular drive.
Cam Miller is in the zone right now. He is feeling it. The accuracy is there. I think he's calmed down. Was a little nervous maybe at the beginning of this rivalry matchup. He's made some great plays here on this drive specifically. Down here, this area of the field, him using his legs, I think, is critical.
Into the red zone for the first time tonight, either team.
The previous play is under further review in regard to the line of game.
So they're going to check the spot of the ball. We'll step aside. North Dakota.
And Jay, we talk about Cam Miller, the quarterback in his 5th season. He looks out in that field, he says, boy, there's a lot of wide open space right in the middle. Calls the play, and Raja Nels with a great double move. Sticks that safety, brings it back inside. The throw is perfectly on time over Matthew Durant's. It's just a great job of execution between quarterback knowing what the defense is and the wide receiver reacting to it.
Nelson, who was out a week ago with an injury, back tonight making a big impact. And that 18-yard touchdown throw is the longest play of the night for North Dakota State. They've been running the ball. It was a methodical drive, 13 plays, 69 yards, and more than 7 minutes off the clock. And the Bison control the lead, 7-0, with a little more than 6 minutes left in this first half. Angel Johnson, dangerous return man. He took one to the house to start the game a week ago. He hasn't touched it. They've kicked it over his head smartly twice tonight.
That's a good idea. I wouldn't kick to him either.
Now it all comes down to this tomorrow night, Game 5 for the WNBA Championship. The Liberty looking to try and win their first title, while the Lynx look for their 5th, 8 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
All right, so if you're South Dakota State, you're Mark Gronowski, experienced quarterback. He's been in this situation a bunch of times. Plenty of time right now to just relax and try to put together a drive.
Go to the ground. Solid gain on first down, gain of 6. Angel Johnson. Mark Gronowski at South Dakota State has done a whole bunch of winning. You see that one loss, but that was to an FBS opponent at Oklahoma State. They have 32 straight wins versus FCS opponents going back to the start of the 2022 season. Back-to-back national champions, so being down a touchdown in this environment won't rattle a very veteran team. The play is blown dead. The clock has not moved. It was at 6:03 after the North Dakota State touchdown, and they just started to run it, but probably need to reset this to 30 seconds coming off after the run.
The game clock failed to start after the first down play. Game clock operator, please set the game clock to 5:41. 5:41, please. It'll start on my ready. Thank you.
And Rocky, we finally have some offense in this game. Usually these teams get off to a hot start, 111 points in the first quarter coming into tonight. They were scoreless in the first. North Dakota State finally on the board, and now the Jackrabbits trying to answer. Gronowski gets rid of it quickly. Angel Johnson trying to scoot his way to the first down, going to be very close. They spot him just shy, 3rd and 1 upcoming.
That's just a great job by Angel Johnson, making Sam Young miss right there in open space. North Dakota State rallies to the ball as they do so well.
5 minutes remaining in this first half. How about that formation for South Dakota State? They'll mix and match. 3 in the backfield with Gronowski. Now it's Chase Mason who takes it. Here's Chase Mason, the backup quarterback. That's what he can do. Touchdown, Jackrabbits. 66 yards for the junior. And flags flying, pushing and shoving in the end zone. This is what you get in a rivalry game. Temper starting to flare after the Mason touchdown. Last week, he had 3 touchdowns on 7 touches. This is his 3rd touch tonight. He takes it 66 yards to the house.
Well, you can see why they want Chase Mason in the game. Coach told us, Jimmy Rogers, the best athlete on the team. We got to get him out there. And I agree, you don't leave tools in the drawer. You got a guy that's special, get him on the field however you can. And watch this play. I mean, just a little counter play, takes it right up, and watch him just leave the green jerseys in the dust. And then Mark Gronowski is running downfield,
throwing blocks.
Trying to throw blocks. And I think that's what might have led to the scuffle there. Chase Mason shot out of a cannon.
The officials are still trying to sort this out. It was over on the far side of the field, right in the end zone. So Gronowski throws his block, and that lights the fuse.
And he initiates the block, so, I mean, it doesn't matter if he's the quarterback or not. If he goes to throw a block, you're allowed to knock him down. That's okay. But I think some of the other players for South Dakota State took a little umbrance with that. Tell you what, though, nothing will fire a team up more than seeing your two-time national champion winning quarterback 40 yards down the field throwing a block.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, South Dakota State, number 11, and number 61. Unsportsmanlike conduct, North Dakota State, number 60. Those fouls all offset. They're the first unsportsmanlike for each player in the game towards disqualification. Again, the result of the play is a touchdown onto the try.
So after all that, it's going to offset.
How about Chase Mason? Started his college career at Nebraska playing college baseball, then missed a year with injury. 66-yard touchdown. He's all by himself because a fight breaks out.
He wants someone to come celebrate with him. Instead, his quarterback and the whole offensive line is down there tussling. You can tell, Jay, these teams don't like each other. Two very talented teams, always in the conversation, and they are going at it tonight.
That's how it should be in a rivalry game. Amplified by these two teams being ranked 1 and 2 in the FCS. The extra point is blocked. North Dakota State has it. This could go upended at the 25-yard line. Marcus Shepard shot in, got the football, and he almost took it for 2 the other way. This is a night to forget for Hunter Dustman, by the way. He's missed a field goal, he's bobbled a punt, and now a blocked extra point. Jimmy Rogers is fired up, the South Dakota State head coach.
Special teams, a big factor in this game so far. Looked like it was inside there. They packed him in. And it was Cody Heisman that came in and blocked it.
And the return by Shepard. That's a 2-point tackle right there. 2-point saving tackle. Bryce Johnson did well to track back for the Jackrabbits. So North Dakota State still leading by 1 after the blocked extra point. Every point counts in a rivalry game.
It does, and that's a crusher for Tim Polasek and North Dakota State, because they go on a long drive, they finally score, get points on the board, and then they give up a big explosive play from South Dakota State. Tim Polasek knows we cannot have those explosive plays in a game like this.
TK Marshall runs it out of his own end zone, but he's tackled shy of the 20. You kick off your Week 7 NFL Sunday with the Countdown crew. You'll get all the latest news from Adam Schefter. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific on ESPN and the ESPN app. How about 15 NFL scouts here in the Fargo Dome tonight? You know, these two teams have sent plenty of talent to the next level.
Absolutely. As soon as I saw those guys on the sideline before the game, went right up to, hey, who are we looking at? And they routed off names of about 6, 7 different players, if not more. They know, this is the FCS, but there's a ton of great players in the FCS, especially from these two programs.
Here's Marty Brown, the freshman, out of the backfield, a gain of 12 to start the drive. In the first 24 minutes of this game, we had 0 points. In the last minute 20, we've had 13.
Things are starting to break loose a little bit.
Offense has come alive. Dawson Ripperda, the sophomore defensive end, getting helped off the field by the Jackrabbits training staff.
Dawson Ripperda getting a little assisted off the field here.
It feels like the fuse has been lit in this game. We mentioned all those NFL scouts. They're here in large part for the two quarterbacks, Cam Miller and Mark Gronowski, veterans that'll certainly make a camp at the next level.
North Dakota State making a conscious effort to keep with that run game here. They want to keep sledgehammering that thing between the tackles. And Tim Polisek knows that come the fourth quarter, if we can keep pounding away with that thing, maybe something breaks.
You know, the Bison's last drive offensively was a 7-minute touchdown drive, so theoretically they could hold the ball for the remainder of this half.
That's a good thing. That keeps Chase Mason on the sideline.
Miller, pressure coming, throws off his back foot, and it falls incomplete. And Matthew Durant might have gotten there a little early.
I think so. I think the crowd certainly wanted something thrown there. South Dakota State a good job bringing pressure on Cam Miller. He's looking somewhere. He's going through his progressions, which he does so well. And Vandenbos gets the pressure and takes him to the turf.
Cam Miller was 4 for 4 on third down on the previous touchdown drive. Can he move the sticks here? Jackrabbits send 4. Marty Brown wasn't ready for it, lost his footing, and that falls incomplete. So the Bison forced to punt, and this will give the ball back to South Dakota State with plenty of time to take the lead here.
Would have liked to see North Dakota State get a concept with a receiver that's a little bit more down the field there. Even had he caught that ball, I think South Dakota State was going to rally up and tackle. Now they're going to get another opportunity to score.
Steindorf punts it away. Dallas Beanham didn't call for the fair catch, but the flags come in. I didn't see a fair catch from Beanham. He was drilled.
And I think they're going to see, did he hit him
before
the catch? And it was razor thin.
Darius Givens, the sophomore, I thought he timed it pretty well on Beanham, but the officials disagree. And this penalty could very well jumpstart the South Dakota State offense.
And he clearly never raises his hand for a fair catch.
Is that tie goes to the punt returner? I mean, it's so bang bang.
It's so bang bang. To me, it didn't look like he got there early.
Now, you played special teams 8 years in the NFL. If you're Darius Givens, you're like,
I following the play for kick catch interference. However, there is a block in the back on the return team, number 11. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. 1st and 10, South Dakota State.
Oh man, what a swing. South Dakota State's thinking, okay, we're gonna get the ball in good field position. Instead, a block in the back. And I think that's the right call. We showed you the
100%,
replay.
yeah. I mean, he got there right as Beanham was catching that ball. I thought that was certainly well within the bounds of being legal there. No issues with that.
So South
now
Dakota
the penalty
State starts this drive from their own 10-yard line. And Chase Mason is on the field to start this game. They use both quarterbacks on the field at the same time. We saw that when Mason took it on the previous drive, 66 yards for a touchdown. There he is, number 7 in white, the motion man. Gronowski dumps it off to the check down. The escape route, gain of 2, Amar Johnson.
And see, that's the thing, especially with Mason breaking that long touchdown. Now even if you don't throw the ball to him, he's a decoy, because North Dakota State is making a conscious effort. We got to know where number 7 is. He's so explosive. Back in here.
And he's lined up to take this snap. Gronowski is on the bottom of the screen, near side. Mason, quarterback keeper, North Dakota State, read it well. Only a gain of 2.
What a great job. Logan Kopp comes through, sheds the block, makes the tackle on the QB draw. That's how you got to stop Chase Mason before he can get them legs turning.
Now Logan Kopp, he missed a game and he's still the leading tackler. Sees that ball so well, the anticipation to ankle tackle Mason, and set up a 3rd and 6. Fargo Dome in full voice. Gronowski, a lot of noise, great poise. Gronowski delivers. A gain at 12 to move the chains. Pressure was coming. This place was buzzing. And Gronowski puts it right
on to victory. Coming up, Jay, when you join us for the Twisted Tea halftime report.
Well, Kevin Connors with a big market tease there. I'm curious, what's the major change? Georgia getting the better of Texas on the road. That's a heavyweight clash at the FBS level. We got a heavyweight clash at the FCS level. Number 1 versus number 2. Gronowski checks it down. That's Angel Johnson. Kept the pile moving for a gain of 8.
That's 2 plays in a row, Jay. You see why these NFL scouts like Mark Gronowski. Hanging it in the pocket, taking a shot, and then right there, going through his regressions, finding a receiver.
Quick trigger again, this time to Kentrell Prejean. That's short of the sticks, loss of 1. South Dakota State upping the tempo in a 2-minute drill here. They still have all 3 timeouts. And now they'll slow things down and huddle up here ahead of a critical 3rd and 3.
Absolutely, yes. Slow that thing down and try to get your best play out there. Do not see Chase Mason in the game for what that's worth.
And number 7 in white, the backup quarterback, has the lone Jackrabbits touchdown. Here's Gronowski on a 3rd and 3. Surveys, steps up. Rolls right, finally just flips it to Angel Johnson for the first down. Great progression there, Gronowski.
And I thought Gronowski had an opportunity to just tuck that thing and run. He doesn't, but then look at just the presence of mind there. A little Patrick Mahomes shovel, throwing that thing forward, keeping the chains moving. That was a great job of just patience and poise, hanging in there, never giving up on the play.
Movement before the snap.
False start. Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And Quinton Christensen, the left tackle, moving before the snap.
Place here rocking.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 53 seconds.
Get back in his pass. That's Will Mostart, Eli's brother, another great player.
Jackrabbits do have all 3 timeouts. 1st and 15, 53 seconds left in the half. Gronowski runs right, breaks a tackle. Smartly gets out of bounds, preserves a timeout. Logan Kopp was in hot pursuit, the leading tackler for North Dakota State.
Yeah, and with 3 timeouts, Jay, they have the opportunity to use the entire field. They don't have to just go to the sideline here. At some point, this next play or 2 here, I'd say right here, you got to try to pick up a chunk yardage play to get your team down the field a little more, either try a field goal or punch it in.
Gronowski steps up, going to run it, slides and takes a big hit, and the flag comes in. Easy call for the officials. Marcus Gully launched in head first, and Gronowski had started his slide.
That's tough. I feel for Gully there. You got a 6'3", 230-pound rhinoceros of a quarterback running right at you, and you got all of a sudden, in a split second of time, pull up. It's tough.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit, defense number 53, 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
It's interesting, they called it against 53.
Timeout, South Dakota State.
It's on zero.
Their first of
Gully.
the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And it's as soon as he starts to go into that slide, the instant he does that, you got to pull off. And that, again, it's so hard to do. Again, I feel for Marcus Gully on that play, but you got to, in today's football, you got to try to find a way to pull up on that. The good news is he didn't go in and lead with the head and get a targeting penalty on top of it. That's the saving grace there.
So the ball moves all the way to the 40-yard line in Bison territory. So you're right on the edge of field goal range to try and take the lead here ahead of halftime. Still have 2 timeouts.
You got 40 seconds and 2 timeouts to get, you'd like to get 15 yards here at least.
In this game, it usually comes down to turnovers, Rocky. And South Dakota State, in the last 5 matchups, they've won all of them. 0 turnovers.
That's huge.
It helps when you have Mark Gronowski as your quarterback. He's been terrific. Wrapped up, taken down. Amar Johnson, no room to run.
Oscar Benson, a great job. Again, another great linebacker play. Doesn't wait to get blocked, slips that thing and makes a big play in the backfield.
Timeout, South Dakota State.
You see these linebackers, they start off the screen and then in a blink of an eye, they're on the screen. Playing downhill so fast.
As we talk about South Dakota State, Mark Gronowski, and this offense, you have to mention that he lost his starting running back to the NFL, his top 2 wide receivers to the NFL, 3 offensive linemen to the NFL, and his starting tight end to the NFL.
And
he's playing with totally different dudes.
And we were talking this week, and you even said on the broadcast earlier, he's won 2 national titles. Do you not go to the NFL and say, hey, I've done about all I can do here? Maybe that's what it is. He wants to prove he can win now with maybe a little
different
group of a roster than he's had the last few years.
Had opportunities, told ESPN that Pete Thamel in August, his highest NIL offer was $1.2 million. Decides to come back and finish things here at South Dakota State. This has been his best drive of the night. He's made a couple of big plays, now trying to finish off this first half with the lead. Gronowski, good pocket, right on the money. That's Graham Goring. His first catch of the night goes for 10. And they're just a couple of yards shy of field goal range here.
South Dakota State does not want to give up that run to Gronowski, so he picks him apart.
I think Gronowski was going to go under center and just try and spike that football.
The previous play is under review for the line to gain.
Now, this is the second time that the officials have stopped this game to make sure they have the right spot. And I think with 26 seconds left, you just kind of have to live with the spot you gave, right?
Come on.
The 30 is the first down marker. Now they might have stopped it. Stopped it well there. And that changes the clock because the clock would have not stopped. It would have continued to run there.
That's exactly right.
It only stops because they've got to move the chains and reset the ball, then it resumes. So this being at the 31-yard line instead of the 30 is a big deal. All right, so I take it back. The officials smart to stop this one and get the right spot because it really changes the clock more than anything. And it certainly changes the South Dakota State play call. Because you're thinking 1st and 10, one timeout, maybe we take a shot here. And now, if it gets marked a yard shy, you got to worry about just getting the first down. They're going to move this ball a yard back. Hunter Dustman, the South Dakota State kicker, missed from 53 yards earlier in this half. So you want every yard to try and take this lead before halftime. Long review here, and I think it's the clock issue.
After review, the runner was down short of the line to gain. The ball will be placed at the 30.5-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. Please reset the game clock to 31 seconds. As a result of the replay stoppage, there is a 10-second subtraction option. Neither team has elected to use a timeout.
Wow.
So we will set the game clock to 21 seconds, and it'll start on my ready for play.
So Jimmy Rogers has the option to stop that 10-second runoff, elects to not, so 21 seconds remaining, and you've got a 3rd and 1 here.
He still has the one timeout.
Gronowski goes under center, the pile is pushed. And now South Dakota State sideline screaming, saying spike this football. They want to preserve
lots of time.
That one timeout. Gronowski does just that. 14 seconds remaining in this first half. You do have one timeout, so a chance for 2 plays, Rocky.
So the clock stopped because of the first down there momentarily. Then got restarted, only 2 seconds came off.
Jimmy Rogers holding on to that one timeout. 14 seconds left in this first half. Mark Gronowski looking for points. Tucks and runs, gets out of bounds. 9 seconds remaining.
Smart play. He gets out of bounds, stops the clock. 9 seconds left. There's certainly time to take a shot. Call a timeout.
Well, you got one play left before the field goal attempt, so you try and get more yardage or take a shot?
I think you take a shot here.
Gronowski rolls right, throws it away, and South Dakota State will have to settle for a field goal attempt with 2 seconds remaining in this first half.
It was well executed by Gronowski there, though. Didn't try to force anything. North Dakota State had rolled to having 3 guys deep.
Hunter Dustman missed from 53 yards earlier and then had an extra point blocked. This one will be from 42 yards to try and finish the first half with a Jackrabbits lead. Timeout taken, North Dakota State.
North Dakota State.
You know, this has been a difficult first half for Hunter Dustman, who does everything for South Dakota State in the kicking game. He's the punter, he's the kicker, he's the kickoff man, but bobbles a punt, misses a field goal, then gets an extra point blocked. So as a competitor, Rocky, how do you shake all of that off, focus on this 42-yard attempt?
It's, as a player, it's all about moving on to the next play. I mean, any great player has got to find a way to flush out something bad that happens. Let's see if he can do that here.
That was from 52. This 10 yards closer from 42 for the lead at the end of the first half. Dustman has got plenty of leg. Drilled it. So South Dakota State heads into halftime with a 9-7 lead. And Rocky, this is what we expected, a physical, close, competitive game.
Yeah, great job here. Again, Hunter Dustman shakes off some of the things he had go wrong in that first half, punches that thing through, and you're right, it's been a physical game. Both teams settled down, playing some great football right now.
South Dakota State, a 2-point lead at the half. Let's get you into the studio. Kevin Connors, Trevor Maddage, your Twisted Tea halftime report.
What a great first half. I think we're in for a treat in the second half.
North Dakota State will start with the football. Defer to the first half. This is TK Marshall. He's run it out twice, and he's failed to get to the 20-yard line both times. Let's take a look at tonight's game track, brought to you by Outback Steakhouse. So scoreless in that first quarter, Rocky. Then scoring did pick up. Some special team miscues from South Dakota State, but Dustman recovers, nails the field goal as time expired in the second quarter to get the lead.
In the first half, really each team with one big play. We had the Chase Mason 66-yard touchdown run, and then the Rajah Nelson 18-yard touchdown catch. I think whatever team can get the most explosive plays in this second half will really help their team out.
Cam Miller, the North Dakota State offense, back out onto the field, running it to start this third quarter. Dallas Peenham made the stop in the secondary.
North Dakota State still seems very committed to that tailback run that Tim Polasek talked about with us before the game, how important it was to establish that. He wants to keep hitting those body blows to the middle of that defense.
Barika Penu with the carry there. Only his third of the night, went for 7. They go right back to Penu, hits the hole. Room to run finally for Barika Penu. He's been bottled up most of this game. Takes that one for a gain of 17.
And just a good job again, another zone run. Run starts in the middle, almost toward the right, and Penu just bends it back. Great job kicking out by the tight end. The right tackle washes the defender down. And then Penu, a very skilled athlete, does the rest.
Miller goes under center. Hands off TK Marshall, tripped up. Kept those legs churning though. Gained a couple of extra yards. Gain of 4.
And you can see a lot of these runs for North Dakota State come on that left side because they have one of the best offensive tackles in the FCS, Gray Zabel. That man right there, he's one of the guys, and watch him go here, getting up to the second level, pushing, continuing the block, and finishing over the pile. That's what those NFL scouts are here to see.
Yeah, 15 NFL scouts in the house here at the Fargo Dome on the Reese's Senior Bowl watch list. Zabel, Miller tucks and runs, diving forward for the first down into Jackrabbits territory. That's what Cam Miller can do.
That's what been asking to see most of this game. It's such a weapon, him running the ball. I think it'll really be huge here in the second half because it just gives that defense for South Dakota State one more thing to think about. They're dropping back into coverage, and boom, he tucks that thing. So deadly with his legs.
Now Cam Miller out for this play. It's the backup Cole Payton ready to take the first snap of the game in Jackrabbits territory. Payton, a capable runner. He's built like a linebacker, 6'3", 234. So even though he's the backup quarterback, built like a linebacker, runs like a running back, physical as a tight end.
Yeah, and same thing, another of one of the best athletes on the team. They got to find a way to get him in the game. Got the fastest 10-yard shuttle on the team. Get him on the field.
Peyton takes it for 6 on his first action of the night, and Cam Miller right back in. 5 plays on this drive, all runs, 41 yards for the Bison. They keep it with the ground game. Read well by South Dakota State. Marty Brown, no room to run. Swallowed up by a sea of white. And that'll set up 3rd and manageable here for the Bison.
You see Cole Payton coming back into the game. Cam Miller coming out.
Can that disrupt your rhythm, though? Miller had found a good rhythm. Now he's had 2 plays on the sideline.
I'd like to find a way to do what South Dakota State does, keep them both on the field. Cam Miller is your best player.
A critical 3rd and 3 at the start of this second half. Peyton keeps it. Gets help on a big block, a gain of 4. Move the chains. Graham Spalding made the stop, but not before Peyton could keep this drive alive. 1st and 10.
A great job by the right guard. Watch the right guard, Jake Rock here come, boom, pulling around, gets up to the second level and sets the pivotal block that sprung Peyton. Both these offensive lines, South Dakota State, North Dakota State, they can move. They can pin, pull out, they can zone block, they can do it all.
It's a hard-nosed, physical football game, rivalry game between number 1 and number 2. And all 8 plays to start this second half have been runs for North Dakota State. Clearly, they came out of halftime with a game plan. We're going to pound this football.
And I think, again, this is all Tim Polasek. This is what he wants. Pound, 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 physical, run the ball with a tailback. Again, you can keep hammering away. All of a sudden then in the 4th quarter, those 3-yard runs become 8-yard runs, become 15-yard runs. That's what he wants.
Miller set to throw, triggers, it's caught. Shy of the 1st down. Chris Harris, his 3rd reception of the night. Right on the edge of field goal range, a big 3rd and 4. This is the quietest the Fargo Dome has been tonight.
I want to get quiet for Cam Miller in this offense on this big 3rd down.
10th play of the drive, line to gain at the 28. Miller throws, passes caught, hit immediately, shy of the 1st down. TK Marshall made the catch. Caleb Francel. Awesome coverage to drop him short of the 6, 4th and 2, and North Dakota State is sending the field goal team out.
Caleb Francel, again, has been so good. Tackling guys in space all night, forcing the field goal attempt. It's great stuff.
Now this is Griffin Crosa. A 48-yard field goal attempt for the lead. The line drive is short, no good. A flag comes in late after the Crosa miss. The officials coming together. This is a big call. As it stands, would be a field goal miss. South Dakota State ball. Could this flag keep the drive alive?
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, South Dakota State, number 29. That penalty will be assessed 15 yards from the succeeding spot, South Dakota State, 1st and 10.
Now, important to note that they said after the play, so that means the field goal is missed, possession changes, and then they assess the penalty.
Correct. which is huge.
So it'll be South Dakota State ball with Mark Gronowski, the Walter Payton Award-winning quarterback, two-time national champion. As the physicality continues, tempers beginning to ramp up in this third quarter. So Gronowski starts this drive from his own 15, handoff. Amar Johnson showing off the speed. That first step burst from the senior Amar Johnson takes it for 12.
It's a way to start a drive off. Same thing, just a little zone run off to the left here. South Dakota State doing such a good job with that, those line stunts, handling those line stunts that North Dakota State brings.
Gronowski under pressure, throws way over the head of Kentrell Prégine. Pressure came from Toby Adena. Sophomore defensive end from Cottage Grove, Minnesota. Coach is telling us there's times where he's unblockable. That was one of those times.
Yeah, and he's a guy they want to see that all the time. He has that ability. Just need to be more consistent with it.
Number 93 in green lined up on the near side, bottom of the defensive line. Trying to run it right into a green wall. Amar Johnson, no room to run. And this will be 3rd and long.
North Dakota State was ready for that when they stacked the box. Got the safety at Sam Young down in the box there, taking away that run. Did not see Chase Mason on the field.
He has provided the biggest spark offensively, that 66-yard touchdown. Instead, they stick with Mark Gronowski on a 3rd and 9 in the Fargo Dome in full voice. Gronowski, quick trigger. It's caught. First reception of the day for Griffin Wilde. He's wrapped up well short of the sticks. Only a gain of 5 when they needed 9.
What an incredible play by Eli Mostert. He is a defensive tackle, but he sniffed out. That was a tunnel screen. They were trying to get the offensive lineman on the left side out, and the wide receiver come underneath. Watch 53. He's out of your screen and then comes into your screen, turning and running. For a 6'3", 290-pound defensive lineman, that's why he's one of the best.
Hunter Dustman punts it away. Good hang time on this. Fair catch called for, and contact. That's a flag.
Now that one,
Fair
no
catch,
question.
Yeah, clearly called. Jackson Williams and Colby Humphrey ran right into him. Easy call there. Now this will give North Dakota State better starting field position, trailing by 2.
Yeah, and this was clear. We had a play earlier in the first half where cover guy got right as the ball was coming down, but clearly early there. That's going to give
Kick catch interference, kicking team number 22. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, North Dakota State. Timeout on the field. This will be a full media timeout.
well, victory, but yeah, they're nothing better than Friday Night Lights, except for maybe Saturday nights in the Fargo Dome. How about that?
Exactly. It's been an awesome atmosphere, exactly what you would expect for a rivalry game. These two teams have been playing since 1903. They introduced the Dakota marker in 2004 when they both bumped up to the FCS level. So for the last 20 years, you play for a trophy, makes the game mean even more. 10 wins apiece. The last 5 have gone to South Dakota State. You know, North Dakota State, they've won 9 of the last 13 FCS championships, national championships, and yet, as of recently, that Dakota marker's been living in Brookings. They want to keep it in Fargo. Right now, the Bison trailing by 2. Cam Miller in the offense, an opportunity to take the lead here, slinging it on first down. Good throw, better catch. Braylon Henderson on a gain of 8.
Cam Miller knows how to throw that slant route. How many times tonight, Jay, have we seen that? That's just a small window for him to fit that ball in, and he does it like it's effortless. Well covered.
So this is the 116th meeting between these two teams, but it's the first Dakota Marker game that's made national television, and this game has delivered. 2-point game. Every yard hard to get. Needed 2 there, only got 1. And nothing is coming easy, and nor should it in a 1 versus 2 rivalry game, Rocky.
No, again, these teams are just going at it, just impressed with the offense and defensive line play, how much both of these defenses fly around out there. I haven't seen a ton of missed tackles, lots of sure tackling tonight. Love it.
Third and 1, Miller trying to take it himself, only needs a yard, not gonna get there. Jared DePriest, the defensive tackle, what a stop. And now a decision to make if you're North Dakota State. You just failed to get 1 yard twice. Do you try it again?
Yeah, and this is a great job by DePriest with the swim move, getting in the backfield before Miller can get going with that play. But no, you certainly punt this ball away, this area of the field.
Trailing by 2, plenty of time, playing the field position game. And now movement before the snap against the Bison.
False start. Offense number 14. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Backs Caden Steindorf 5 yards backwards. Dallas Beanham awaits this punt at his own 20-yard line. That was nearly blocked. Steindorf did well to get it away and bounces out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Now, when we get back, you do not want to miss this fan story. He's got one of the longest attendance streaks in all of college football. Here at North Dakota State, we met Bob Clark, who has not missed a Bison football game since 1982. Today marks 541 games in a row, home and away. Bob is there. Began all the way back in 1982 with some buddies. They attended every Bison game that year. 42 years later, the streak is alive. Bob Clark, there he is in his season ticket seat. What a streak.
What a streak. Yeah, his buddies started off with him in 82, but they couldn't keep up. Bob said, I'm keeping going. He loves his Bison.
Now, this streak almost didn't happen. In 1982, the D2 semifinal game was 1,700 miles away, all in Davis, California. Bob wasn't sure he'd go, but he did, and he's glad he did because a long streak followed. Chase Mason, backup quarterback. They've been going with that 1-2 punch of Mason and Gronowski, and a flag is down.
Mason was past the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball. That's going to be a penalty.
There is no foul on the play for an ineligible receiver downfield due to an illegal forward pass by the offense number 7. 5 yards from the spot of the foul. This includes a loss of down. 2nd down.
That would have been Mason's first pass attempt of the night. They usually use him in the run game.
Line of scrimmage was a 23. Get a look at where he throws it, and they were trying something big here. They wanted to go downtown with him, and
he threw it at
just a little bit past
28.
Yeah.
So backed up here on a 2nd and 11. Trying to run it with Amar Johnson. He is so shifty. Even when he looks like he's going to lose a yard or two, still manages for positive yardage and gain of 4 there.
You're right, Jay. He is shifty, but like any good zone runner, he just kind of waits patiently for that daylight to open. Then he just slams it down into gear. Able to get something out of nothing.
The Bison defense trying to force a 3-and-out here. Line to gain at the 33. Gronowski throws, it's batted, tipped, and the pass is incomplete. Will Mostart got a piece of it, and that is a 3-and-out by the South Dakota State offense.
What a great call by Grant Olson, the North Dakota State defensive coordinator. It was a fire zone, so they're going to blitz someone, and they drop Will Mostart from the defensive end position. He comes right in that window. Mark Gronowski's thinking that Starforce is going to turn right around. That thing's going to be wide open. But look, you see the defensive end drop right into that window and bat the ball away. Huge play.
Gusman punts it to the 30. Jackson Williams is there, breaks a tackle, reverses field. It is taken down. He had room to run. The David Stoffel was there to make the stop.
Timeout on the field.
Decades. FBS football, a new era. 12-team playoff this season for the first time. The next Thursday, ESPN. Don't want to miss it. Syracuse 5-1 at undefeated Pittsburgh at 7:30 Eastern Time on Thursday. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. 3 minutes remaining of this third quarter. Cam Miller and the Bison offense taking a shot on first down. It's caught. Chris Harris. And they ruled that the pass is incomplete. Must have been something with the footwork, because clearly Harris caught that ball. I thought he had room over on that sideline. We'll take another look.
Oh, as he's securing that ball was his left heel on the out-of-bounds line.
That's a great call by the officiator.
Yeah, that is. From up here in real time, it looked like that was a catch and a big play.
And the Bison, they've been lacking that big play tonight.
Their longest play is that 18-yard touchdown catch by Rajah Nelson.
If an incomplete pass is under further review.
Now, nothing we saw is going to overturn that call.
Yeah, certainly with the call on the field being that he was out of bounds.
It was the right play call. They had good execution, and Harris just steps out. That back heel, or does he secure the ball before that heel comes down, Rocky?
Depends on when they judge he gained control of it. I think this is so close that with the original call on the field being that he was out of bounds, I don't know if there's enough indisputable evidence to turn that over. It's certainly close.
Yeah, this is just a judgment call on if that ball is secured as that right foot is still down before the left heel hits out of bounds. Such a bang-bang play.
Bang-bang play, yeah. Again, with it being a no catch with the original call, it'd be tough to overturn.
It would be a 26-yard completion if it is overturned. It would really jumpstart a Bison offense that has lacked a big play.
The ruling on the field of an incomplete pass stands. Second down.
You were right, Rocky.
And either way, for North Dakota State, I would like to see them get Bryce Lance, their top wide receiver, involved. He has just one catch for 9 yards tonight, only been targeted 3 times. He's down the bottom of your screen here as they line up for this formation. Big time games, you got to think players, not plays. How do I get my best players the football?
And Lance, the top target. Only one reception tonight. The younger brother of Trey Lance, who is an excellent quarterback here in Fargo. Jared DePriest, he has become a problem on that defensive line for South Dakota State. Another stop there.
DePriest, his last 2 or 3 games, he has been on fire. Doing a great job out there.
Third and long. First down marker all the way at the 48-yard line. Empty set for Miller. Pressure coming. Miller nowhere to run. Down he goes, and it's Adam Bach. His former high school teammate gets the better of Miller there. Those two played at Solon High School in Iowa together, and on a huge third down sack, Adam Bach gets the better of that friendship.
First time tonight, South Dakota State has brought 6, and there is absolutely nowhere to go. They roll the dice, very risky because of how Cam Miller can run, but they come up big there. Adam Bach, yeah, the former teammates.
Yeah, high school teammates at Solon High School in Iowa. They were coached by Miller's dad, Kevin. Also played baseball together. Miller was the pitcher, Bach the catcher. So teammates, you know, there's Bach, the former running back, now linebacker. Cam Miller, obviously the quarterback. And Miller was telling us yesterday, his favorite play was the screen pass. Boom, 1-yard throw to Adam Bach, and he'd go the whole way.
There you go.
He said once broke a screen pass off 8 broken tackles for a 70-yard touchdown. So those two, plenty of great memories as teammates, and now battling it out for the Dakota marker on opposite sides of the field. Gronowski, big hit, bounced out of bounds. Oscar Benson got there. Gain of 7 for Gronowski on first down.
Still just so impressed with the offensive lines of both these teams. That time, Gus Miller, the center, was out there pulling all the way to the left, throwing blocks, sealed that edge, allowed Gronowski to get to the outside.
South Dakota State clinging to a 2-point lead, looking for more cushion here on the road. Running it on 2nd and 3. This is Angel Johnson. Good job staying on his feet, pushing that pile for the first down.
Second efforts. Again, that's what Jimmy Rogers said. This is a game where hidden yardage becomes important. There's a play where Johnson was stopped before the line, but the second effort picks up the first down.
Sam Young, the talented strong safety, is down in the secondary for North Dakota State. He made the first hit on Gronowski and then got back into his position before he went down.
Something, I don't know, maybe a shoulder, or as he comes up and makes that play.
Yeah, the coaching staff told us yesterday Sam Young, the best tackler on the team. They moved him to strong safety, and he has really helped this defense. He's been all over the field tonight.
He has. He's really been big.
With Young down, let's check into the studio with Kevin Connors.
All right, Jay, the Capital One rewarding performance takes us to Austin after a very controversial penalty on this Texas interception, and then a play stoppage due to unruly fans, and then a reversal of the penalty. Jaden Blue's going to take it in. Trevor, Texas is back in this game.
Yeah, the penalty was originally on the Georgia defensive back who made the interception, and then the officials got together and said, nah, it wasn't an interception, it was for a penalty.
23-15, Georgia on top, Jay.
The Texas right back in that game here in Fargo. We got a tight one as well. 2-point game, 9-7 lead for the Jackrabbits. They've got the football here at the end of the third quarter. They don't have to run another play. They can choose to take this to the fourth quarter. And that's what they decide to do. Well, through 3 quarters in Fargo, this has been an absolute slugfest. Exactly what you want in a 1 versus 2 rivalry game. This is going to come down to the 4th quarter.
Both these coaches told us just that. This is a game that comes down to the 4th quarter. Who can be the...
Just as awesome in what has been a physical game through 3 quarters, Rocky.
And we put this quote up at the beginning of the game. This stood out to me, what Jimmy Rogers said this week, and here we are, right? This game, both teams so talented, but here in this 4th quarter, Jay, who can be the most physical and who can be the most consistent? I will add, the one game changer in a game like this is a turnover. Haven't had one yet, could play big here. Got to take care of the football.
Points have been at a premium. Just 16 points scored through 3 quarters. South Dakota State a 9-7 lead. The offense has looked the best when Chase Mason has been on the field, number 7 in white, and he's on the field now. This is 2 quarterbacks on the field at once, with Mark Gronowski, the starter, and Chase Mason, the backup. It's Gronowski who takes the snap. Play action. Looking deep, nobody open, well covered, and Gronowski just throws it away. Great defense by North Dakota State to stop the trickery.
And they were trying to catch North Dakota State off balance there. That same formation is what Chase Mason scored that 66-yard touchdown. This time, Gronowski keeps it, rolls out for the pass, but it wasn't there. Great coverage.
So a 3rd and 10 at the start of this 4th quarter. The Fargo Dome finds their full voice trying to get the Bison defense off the field. Gronowski fakes the pitch, backpedals, throws it away again. The defense delivers for North Dakota State. They have kept them in this game, Rocky.
And a great call by Grant Olson, the North Dakota State defensive coordinator. They brought Darius Givens down into the box to the wide side of the field. You could tell they knew that's where South Dakota State wanted to go with the football. Forced a throwaway, and now the punt.
Dustman punts it away for the 5th time tonight. Jackson Williams backpedals, calls for the fair catch at his own 12-yard line. That's where North Dakota State and Cam Miller will take over. And there's the Taco Bell Live Moss student section. All season long, student sections across the country competing to be the Taco Bell Live Moss student section of the year. You can download the Taco Bell app to learn more.
This place has been rocking tonight, Jay. Really had a good time feeling the energy of this crowd. 20,000 strong here in the Fargo Dome. What an experience.
Return team number 29. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. 1st down, North Dakota State.
The late flag comes in. This means that North Dakota State will have the ball from their own 6-yard line to start the drive. So here's the Bison offense led by Cam Miller. He is 0-5 against the Jackrabbits in his career. He has never touched the Dakota marker. He's got a chance to change that in this 4th quarter.
He's got to put this team on his back here in this 4th quarter, Jay.
He keeps it. Upended in the secondary, Colby Herder. And 7.
And I can tell, early in this game, we talked about how Cam Miller has the ankle he's dealing with, and they didn't run him in quite as much. But here's the 4th quarter. You got to dump it all out. He's got to put it all out there. I imagine we'll see him keep that ball and use his legs a little bit more here for the rest of the game.
Now, Miller's had a prolific career, including a national championship in 2021, but he's never beaten his rival. A big reason why is South Dakota State caught up to North Dakota State when it came to stopping the run. I mean, that's what piled up all those Bison national championships, is the ability to stop the run and then run the ball. And Jimmy Rogers and South Dakota State have taken that blueprint And right now, they're doing it even better than the Bison. They're beating them at their own game.
It doesn't matter. FBS, FCS, the teams that run the ball and stop the run are ones that find them in those big games at the end of the season.
Another short yardage situation. 3rd and 2. Miller throws. It's caught. There's a flag down in the backfield. Braylon Henderson, as it stands, has the first down for North Dakota State.
Holding, offense number 28. Half the distance to the goal from the previous spot. Remains 3rd down.
So the hold negates the first down. It'll be a replay of 3rd down here for the Bison offense.
And what a shame, because TK Marshall did a great job coming. Watch him come right up in the hole and stop the blitzing Caleb Francel. I think he just afterward just grabbed onto him and brought him to the ground. Yeah, the arms come around.
Right spot, wrong technique.
Yep.
Hit a 3rd and 9 upcoming. First down marker at the 16-yard line. Miller from his own end zone throws, tight coverage. It's caught, but a yard shy. Good grab by Chris Harris. Dallas Beanham, the shutdown corner, wrestled Harris down before he had a chance of gaining the first.
Dallas Beanham, one of the best cornerbacks in the FCS. Just look at great technique. As soon as the receiver settles his hips, Beanham settles his and makes a sure tackle.
And now Beanham runs to the 40 because he's the punt returner as well. Steindorf gets it away. Beanham moves over, bobbles the ball, and runs out of bounds with it. So South Dakota State,
Timeout on the field.
a 2-point lead with the ball. It'll be good starting field position. Quiet in downtown Fargo. All the action's right here. These two teams meet every year in the regular season, but in 2022, they met in the FCS National Championship game. You know, the Bison of North Dakota State had won 9 of the last 11 national championships. Well, that all ended in Frisco on January 8th, 2023. South Dakota State with Gronowski running wild, 45-21 win. That was the first of back-to-back national championships for the Jackrabbits. So these two programs, not only are they fierce rivals, but they've won 11 of the last 13 FCS national championships.
They're the two standard bearers here in the FCS.
But tonight it is all about the Dakota marker. Griffin Wilde couldn't quite turn the corner there, upended only a gain of 1. You know, the FCS playoff, they've been doing this playoff for a long time. It expanded to 12 teams in the 1980s. Now they're up to 24 teams, double what this FBS playoff will be for the first time this year with 12.
Yeah, they're like, we've been doing this playoff thing for a long time. Very exciting, the FCS playoffs. These two teams certainly being part of that conversation.
And you get a home game through the semifinals. That's why this game is so critical. The winner will likely lock up home field advantage. Here's Gronowski again. We showed you him running wild in the 22 national championship game. Well, he still got the feet on him. Gained a 13 there for the veteran quarterback.
It's just tough. Here we are now in the 4th quarter, and Gronowski at 6'3", 230. Getting a nice block out, kick out there by David Alpers, the tight end. Kicking out and letting Gronowski do what he's done since 2020. It's be a dangerous weapon in the run game.
Well, when Gronowski came in, the Bison dominated this rivalry before he got here. He is 4-0 against North Dakota State, and he has really ended the dynasty, if you will, winning these 2 national championships. Another physical tackle, flag comes in. As it stands, gain of 8 for Amar Johnson.
Yeah, this is going to come back. I think it was Davin Stoffel, the tight end, got the arms around his defender.
During the run, holding. Offense number 87. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains first down.
And you'll see Stoffel at the bottom of your screen there. Yeah, he's got those arms wrapped around Oscar Benson, and then the push down. Yeah.
So a 1st and 19 after the penalty. The Bison defense urging the crowd to come alive here, trailing by 2 in the 4th quarter. Handoff, Amar Johnson trying to turn upfield. Brought down, only a gain of 3.
Tight game, both these teams still committed to wanting to stay with that run. I think both coaches here, Jay, feel like as these two offenses have slugged it out, that one of these runs is gonna break, right? Something's gonna break and we're gonna get that explosive run. Which team is it going to be that gets that explosive punishing run?
Second and 16, play action. Gronowski flush left, tucks and runs, falls forward. Not much there. So this will be 3rd and long. The Shaka Ropes made the stop for the Bison.
Big play here. I think you might see Chase Mason coming together. Their Swiss Army knife, big time weapon, but he'll stay on the sideline.
Awesome atmosphere on a 3rd and 12. Gronowski throws, it's caught! Such poise with all this noise. Another 3rd and long conversion, gain of 17. Graham Goring with the catch, but this is all Gronowski.
All Gronowski, tall, strong in that pocket, hitting the former walk-on Graham Goring. What a huge play, and this crowd silenced right now.
That's what has the NFL scouts in the building tonight. Throws like that, 15 of them here to watch Mark Gronowski. And now they bring in the backup quarterback, Chase Mason, as well. Mason gets the snap, hands it off to Amar Johnson. He's upended for no gain. Logan Kopp, the leading tackler, again makes the stop for the Bison.
I mean, can we just repeat how great the linebacker play has been tonight on both sides of the ball?
It says the linebacker who played 8 years in the NFL. That's high praise.
I'm loving this. They're just great in the open field, too. It's an easy thing to do.
Rivalry game with the Dakota marker on the line. South Dakota State clinging to that 2-point lead. 9-7, 8 minutes, 20 seconds to go in this 4th quarter. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. Rocky, as we take a look at Oscar Benson getting checked over on the sideline.
And that's big because he's been their top tackler tonight. 8 tackles, 8 stops on the night.
And they're also missing Sam Young in the secondary. Those two among the top tacklers for this Bison defense. Short-handed on a 2nd and 10. Play action. Gronowski steps up, throws to the end zone. Incomplete. He had Davin Stoffel open in the end zone and missed him.
Yeah, that was not a good throw there from Gronowski. He had Stoffel open. A tough throw. It's a little switch verts how you see Alpers come underneath and Stoffel go to the outside, gets those defenders twisted up, got the opening you wanted, they couldn't connect.
That's the first pass attempt of more than 20 yards from Gronowski on the night. A 3rd and 10. Gronowski gonna try and run it, finds the hole, runs through it, a flag comes in. Gronowski marked a yard shy, only got 9, needed 10.
Holding, offense number 64. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains third down.
And this will take you out of field goal range.
Yeah,
because of the holding penalty.
Yeah, costly penalty. It was Ethan Vibert. Got his arm wrapped around the defender. Yeah, huge penalty. Yeah, you'll see it right here. As that play goes on, and right where Gronowski is running, so all the eyeballs are there. He tackled Cody Heisman.
So instead of kicking a field goal to try and make it a 5-point lead, 3rd and 17.
Watch Gronowski with a scramble.
Gronowski surveys, flushed right, under pressure. Gronowski sets his feet, throws. It's caught! What a grab, but it's ruled incomplete. Graham Goring can't believe it, arguing with the official. Gronowski, I thought, put it right on the money.
Let's see.
Goring's foot, where does it come down? Inbounds, but did he secure that football?
And is that heel on the sideline? The out-of-bounds line. What an incredible job going up and getting that thing.
And before the punt, they blow the play dead to take a look at it.
Delay game, offense.
Oh no, they're not going to look at it.
That penalty is declined. 4th down.
It's a delay of game. I thought the booth would at least look at it.
They might look at it. It was looked pretty close.
Wow. Tim Polisek saying we want to decline the penalty. We want to force Hunter Dustman to try and pin them back. An extra 5 yards could lower the percentage of a touchback. Dustman makes them pay, pins them inside the 10. So a hectic sequence there. Gronowski on a 3rd and 17, thought he completed it. Inches away, the heel of Graham Goring ruled out of bounds, and now the ball back to North Dakota State, trailing by 2. Monday Night Football, 2 games for you. The Ravens take on the Buccaneers, 8 Eastern on ABC, with Peyton and Eli on ESPN2, and then exclusively on ESPN Plus, Chargers against Cardinals at 9 Eastern. What do you want to see here from North Dakota State offensively? They've struggled except for that one drive, Rocky.
Well, what they're struggling with is getting the explosive play. They usually average about 12 explosive plays per game. Tonight, only 3.
Play action. Miller from his own end zone checks it down. It's caught. Truman Weimer, the fullback, Fargo native, only a gain of 1.
And the other thing, again, I would still love to see him get Bryce Lance involved, their big play wide receiver. But you got to give credit to South Dakota State defensively. They are just saying, we're going to keep everything in front of us, not let anything get over our heads, but we rally up and tackle. That's been the difference.
This has been a physical slugfest. Points have come at a premium. Can North Dakota State put together a drive here? Trying to snap a 5-game losing streak to the Jackrabbits. Great throw by Miller. Right on the money. Braylon Henderson hauls it in for a Bison first down.
An incredible throw and catch right in the middle of about 3 white jerseys. Look at the composure in the pocket. Lots of chaos going up there, settles in. Makes a nice throw and catch. I did look at the bottom of the screen, though, the bottom of the field here, Jay, excuse me. Bryce Lance looked like he had a step on Miles Taylor, the corner. Wonder if they'll go back there.
Miller, good protection. Finds Marty Brown out of the backfield. Positive yardage gain of 9 on first down.
Cam Miller, so experienced, and this is where experience comes into play. Tight game, fourth quarter. No panic.
Trying to get over the hump for the first time against South Dakota State. He's 0-5 against this Jackrabbits team. Here he is, the senior quarterback, picks up the first down with his feet. His former high school teammate made the tackle. Those two, the pride of Solon High School in Iowa. They've been going at it in this second half. Adam Bach and Cam Miller.
Arguably each team's best player, right? Going at it here. Cam Miller with the fake throw. And those, you just got to get a little bit. Adam Bach, one of the best linebackers in the FCS. Finally healthy at this point this year.
Both in their senior season, it all comes down to this. For the Dakota marker, Miller throws it right on the money. Mackay Collins, first down Bison, and they're starting to hum on offense.
They are a couple big plays here. Mackay Collins, nice big body wide receiver, 6'4", nice target. Little out route, the outside part of the field, and the perfect throw.
Strong throw from Miller. He is coming alive. 4 for 4 on this drive. He also has extended it with his feet. A dual threat quarterback. 1st and 10 on the run again. Slings it over the middle. It's caught. Raja Nelson, who's got the lone Bison touchdown tonight. Only a gain of 2 there.
And this offense is being efficient. They're picking up first downs, but they're also chewing that clock up.
And that becomes a big factor as it ticks under 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Both teams with all 3 timeouts.
You could chew this clock up and get a field goal. No time left. That'd be something.
Miller play action, backpedals. Time now for our drive recap presented by Rain X.
And it's Cam Miller with some magic on this drive. Start from his own end zone with the big plays. And Jay, before this drive, North Dakota State only had 3 plays of 10+ yards. On this drive alone, they had 4. And it was Cam Miller coming up big. This one, where he comes out with the scramble, finds Chris Harris along the sideline, was a huge play right when they needed it. And now if you're North Dakota State, you want to just run this ball, force South